The Hungaroring near Budapest, the setting for round 12 of the Formula One World Championship, the Hungarian Grand Prix. As they went into this race, Michael Schumacher for Ferrari leading the Drivers' Championship by 2 points from McLaren's David Coulthard and Mika Häkkinen, with his Ferrari teammate Rubens Barrichello 10 points adrift. Michael Schumacher, no points since Canada, having gone out at the first corner in the last 2 races, claimed pole by 0.372 of a second from David Coulthard. The 28th pole position of his career. He's now level in the record books with Juan Manuel Fangio. Schumacher first here in 94 and 98. Alongside him, David Coulthard, second here in 95, 98 and 99. Mika Häkkinen, not out of the points since Brazil, the winner here in 1999. Ralf Schumacher with his best qualifying of the season. Rubens Barrichello, a brilliant drive last time out to claim first at Hockenheim. Heinz-Harald Frentzen with no points since Spain. Giancarlo Fisichella involved in that first corner incident with Michael Schumacher in Germany. Jenson Button last to fourth at Hockenheim. Mika Salo equalling his best qualifying of the season. And Eddie Irvine third here for Jaguar a year ago. But it might have been first. From the start, it was Michael Schumacher quickly away, David Coulthard slowly, but Häkkinen making the best start of all as he went down the inside of Schumacher at the first corner to claim first place. Häkkinen led from Michael Schumacher. Eddie Irvine in the Jaguar down in 9th place, and a real scrap developing in front of him. Fisichella skated off the road. Button was almost caught up in the incident. Irvine took full advantage and claimed 2 places in one move. Fisichella, losing his car on the dusty outside part of the circuit, went into a big spin, lost ground to his teammate Alexander Wurz and both Saubers, as well as Irvine and Button. Häkkinen, the fastest man on the circuit, but at the back, Villeneuve and De La Rosa involved in a real battle for 21st place. First man into the pits at Prost, Jean Alesi. His disappointing season continued. Mika Häkkinen was driving smoothly and capably and increasing his lead over Michael Schumacher lap by lap. Nick Heidfeld in the pits at Prost, and that car just would not fire up for him. Prost season a major disappointment. Ferrari, though, still battling hard on both fronts in the championship under a renewed assault from McLaren. Michael Schumacher's first pit stop, that set the benchmark for the rest, 7.3 seconds. Schumacher came out of the pits behind his brother Ralf Schumacher in the Williams and his teammate Rubens Barrichello. Michael Schumacher down to 5th. But both McLarens had yet to make their first stop. Barrichello instructed his teammate to pass him down the inside into the first corner. Michael Schumacher now up to 3rd with his brother in the pits at Williams for a 10-second stop. Ralf Schumacher underway after an impressive first stint. Up front, the McLaren still going well. Rubens Barrichello for Ferrari called in from 4th place. This is an excellent stop, 6.7 seconds. But Barrichello balked by 2 back markers, arriving on the track immediately in front of him. Although he did slot in just ahead of Ralf Schumacher. Into the pits, Mika Häkkinen at McLaren. They knew what they had to beat here, that 7.3 second stop by Michael Schumacher at Ferrari. Typical smooth McLaren efficiency. 7 seconds exactly. Häkkinen resumed his race in 2nd place with his teammate David Coulthard having gone ahead into 1st temporarily. Michael Schumacher was chasing hard from 3rd. Coulthard peeled off. Again, McLaren smoothly into action. And again it paid off. 6.9 seconds, better even than Mika Häkkinen. Coulthard came out, Häkkinen and Michael Schumacher having already gone through. Giancarlo Fisichella pulled to a halt. an eventful race, but he was out after 31 of 77 laps. Marc Genet earned a stop-go penalty, being in front of the leaders, a crucial part on the circuit. Wasn't given very much room for manoeuvre. Rubens Barrichello back in the pits for his second stop. 6.7 last time. Extra fuel to make him go all the way to the end this time, and it was 2 seconds longer. Next in, Michael Schumacher. He needed, if possible, to improve on that 7.3 seconds last time. They couldn't quite do it. Ralf Schumacher at Williams. A good race and looking on course for points. It was Häkkinen who really had thrown down the gauntlet. Quicker than anybody else on the circuit. He progressed in first place. His teammate came in for his second stop. 6.9 last time, 6.6 this. McLaren were really excelling themselves. This race could really have been won and lost in the pits. As it was, 6.6 just wasn't quite enough to put Coulthard into second place on the circuit. Michael Schumacher snatching it from him. Mika Häkkinen came in with plenty of breathing space. Even so, McLaren left nothing to chance. 6.8 for Häkkinen. Frentzen at Jordan. And a breath of fresh air needed through the visor of that helmet. Johnny Herbert in trouble as the BAR went past him. Very unhappy season, probably his last in Formula One, drawing to a close. Pedro Diniz went out, another man yet to score a point in Formula One this season. Then Herbert again. He really did see a lot of this circuit from virtually every angle. Very disappointing season, and this a typically very disappointing race. 68 laps completed, and out went Mazzacani. Only 6 retirements during this race, which meant that the leaders had to deal virtually permanently with traffic. Häkkinen sailed through it all, right on to the checkered flag, to the delight of his 20,000 Finnish fans who'd made the trek across Northern Europe down to see him race in Hungary. Back in front of the championship by 2 points from Michael Schumacher. David Coulthard in third place. Rubens Barrichello 15 points adrift of Häkkinen in fourth. The rest of them, Giancarlo Fisichella, Ralf Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve in double figures. But for the rest of them, only pride to play for. Brilliant win for Mika Häkkinen. Michael Schumacher having to be content with second place. David Coulthard with third. The star of the show, undoubtedly Mika Häkkinen. 1 point now separating McLaren from Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. Williams, Benetton, BAR and Jordan also into double figures. Prost and Minardi, the only 2 teams without a point. Official classification, Häkkinen, Michael Schumacher and Coulthard on the podium. Rubens Barrichello with his 8th successive Grand Prix in the points. Ralf Schumacher with his first point since Magny-Cours. Heinz-Harald Frentzen with his best finish since Spain. Out of the points but in the top 10, Jarno Trulli, Eddie Irvine, Jenson Button and Mika Salo. Also classified, Alexander Wurz in the Benetton, Jacques Villeneuve, who was 22nd at one stage, Jos Verstappen, Ricardo Zonta, Marc Genet and Pedro de la Rosa. The Spaniard de la Rosa, some 4 laps adrift of Häkkinen at the finish. Among the notably not classified drivers, unfortunately the 2 most experienced men in Formula One, Johnny Herbert and Jean Alesi. Both of them have yet to pick up a point for their respective teams this season. Very disappointing showing so far for those 2 drivers. But on the podium, all was joy and delight for Mika Häkkinen.
I think I said in Hockenheim, you make a start like I did, probably once a year. but it's not true. You probably do those at twice a year. So I had again fantastic start, and I was able to overtake Michael and David before the first corner. Even it was very close with Michael in the first corner, but again that's what the racing should be.
For Michael Schumacher, his first points in 4 Grand Prix.
No, honestly, you have to say today we were not fast enough to win that race. I mean, not only I lost the start against Mika, which was a tight battle. When you see his pace, I mean, if he wouldn't have overtaken me at the start, he would probably have done it later through pit stops, because he was simply the fastest man today on the circuit.
David Coulthard, 3rd in Hungary, 3rd in the championship.
Michael caught the traffic well, and he caught them always in and around turn 5. And then I never really got the chance to overtake them until we came out of turn 10. So there was always a second lost in that time. And if you look at the gap when I came out after the last stop, it was probably only 0.3 of a second, the difference between Michael getting the corner and me not. So that sometimes makes a difference. But there you go, I started 3rd, finished 3rd, so that's all I deserve, really.
Mika Häkkinen, 140 Grand Prix, 18 wins, 2 in succession in Hungary, 3 this season, and now he's the championship leader. The force is with Häkkinen and McLaren.